All right, it's that time for the end of day post-wave report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous post-wave price trigger reports. All right, so there's a lot of news going on. Some people thinking, that the sky is falling. Some people think everything's coming to an end. And there's a lot of good points being made on both sides of the aisle. And we're going to get into it. Let's take a look and see what's shaking. All right, so the first chart is the weekly chart of your gold futures. And as you can see here, this is where we are currently, okay? We came into this week with a crash alert sell signal with the bears having the edge, the bias in the market. We got this bearish pointer I think we're going to gravitate toward. As of right now, even though the bears have it, there's a mild possibility that the bulls can come in and defend right here at this trend line support and cause the market to bounce. We'll have to see. I know this bearish pointer has to be reconciled at some point, though. So I think the first thing that's going to happen, I think the market is going to pull back and come down first. And after a successful test or taking of this out, we'll see where it goes from there. But right now, this market is still in the sideways zone, still respecting the bar from the week of June the 18th. Price action has been relatively within that space with this exception bar here, only to bring the market right back into this zone here. So until we really break out of the sideways cycle, I think the market needs to make up its mind what it wants to be when it grows up. But this bearish pointer, though, is going to be needing some reconciliation at some point. All right. Next up, we got the U.S. dollar. So the U.S. dollar is still in the Kumo cloud on the algo chart. The bears are still keeping this one at bay. I think we are falling over the cliff. Remember, I warned about that, and that's what we're dangling now. All right, dangling between the bottom of the Kumo cloud and the trend line support. So I think this one is threatening to roll over. Got a lot of selling pressure overhead. So the US dollar is looking to go down. Remember where I showed you last night when we had our panel, the bull panel, and I showed you that flash crash and what that meant. And now you're seeing it happen in the US dollar right now. This is what you see as of right now. That could be subject to change, but we'll see. Here's the euro yen, okay? The euro yen, the bulls are hanging on for dear life, trying to get something going here, but the selling pressure is keeping it muted at this point. Next up, if you take a look at bonds, here is ticker TLT, the long bond ETF. You can see here overall the bulls are keeping this one going, getting close to the top of the Kumo cloud here. This one I think is trying to gun for 155. We'll see what happens, but this one's really trying to go. The higher the bond price, the lower the yield, right? That's going to help keep those yields at or near zero for the time being. Here's the NASDAQ 100. All right, and as you can see here, so far, we came into here for crash alert sell signal to start the week off, and we're getting a little bit of downside production here. Trend line support at 13,500 is the initial target on this pullback. We'll see how far and extended it can get from here. Next up, let's take a look at the ADA Cardano. This one started the week off with a crash alert sell signal on a bearish pointer. So far, we got a narrow range inside day. It's looking like this bearish pointer is also acting as the trading range for the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes out on that one. Here is your Litecoin after the crash yesterday, and we still really have not moved. We came into this week with a crash alert sell signal. Instead, we got this foolishness here. And now the two are canceling each other out. We may even get a flip-flop by the end of the week. We'll see. But this one's kind of jacked up for now. I think we got sideways movement coming. We're still locked into the week of May 21st. Bar, nothing really has changed, even with all this nonsense the day before. All right, here's your silver. Silver right now is acting like the gold. So far, you're creating a crash alert sell signal. Looks like the bulls have lost control of this one, and now the bears are selling the rally to bring the price lower. Let's see. Here's the Dow for you blue chip people. It came into here with the crash alert sell signal. We're getting that downside production. Trend line supports around the 33, 32.5 range. So I think there's a lot of downside potential that can come that way. As far as crude oil, here's how we're looking so far. The bulls are still keeping this one going. Not a lot of upside momentum though. Not really. It's barely moving up. It has a lot of, you're right here at a resistance point. Between 71 and 70 is a resistance zone, a strong resistance zone for oil. It's going to take a lot of momentum, a lot of energy to punch through that 75. All right, if it's going to make it to 75. Going to need some clean closes here above that 71 and 72 handle respectively. That's a tall order. All right, because right now you're in a position of a market correction actually, where this thing could sell off. Now the last correction that we got in a position was here. Market broke out. All right. Even back here, we thought this was the end and we were going to roll over. It looked like it was going to. Then it took off. So it can do it again. It can take off from here. It can definitely do it. All right. Let's see. There was something else I was going to show you, and I do not remember. Let's see here. Oh, Bitcoin. All right. So here's your Bitcoin so far. We came into this week with the crash alert sell signal. So far, the market's bouncing from last week's lows, and so far kind of forming itself a rally alert buy signal going into next week if this keeps up, if it can keep floating higher. We'll see what happens. But as you know, anything is subject to change in these markets. All right, bear with me just a second. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Give me just a second. I'm offline at the moment, so I'm not going to be able to pull up anything right now, except for what's already in the system. If it's not in the system, I won't be able to pull it up. All right. Yeah. So I'm having issues. Not able to pull anything up right now. Sorry about that. All right, so that's all we got for time for right now. I am working on adding some more securities, though, so hopefully I'll have that for you. I didn't have time to do all that tonight, but I have been in the lab working on quite a few things, so we'll be able to have some more securities for you. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and smash that like button. You know what this is, PulseWaveTrading.com. You know you need these pulse waves. You need to have this in your life. There's no way for you to build this secondary income stream if you don't have the pulse waves. That's what they're for. All right, and you know what this is. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out. Peace.